First up is going to be Commissioner Jeff Hough. And Jeff was elected as a county commissioner in 2020 and is serving his second term. He received his bachelor's degree in finance from Idaho State University. He's worked for J.R. Simplot, 3Com, First Security Bank, and Idaho State University. He's a lifelong resident of Bannock County, passionate about mountain biking and refereeing high school sports and learning. He chairs the 5th District Elected Officials Association, the Intergovernmental Affairs Committee for the Idaho Association of Counties, and is vice chair of the National Association of Counties Rural Affairs Subcommittee. Please join me in welcoming Commissioner Hough.
I am so excited to be here today. I've been to these the last 3 or 4 years, and I keep saying, Matt, the county wants a seat at the table. The county wants a seat at the table. Finally, he gave me a seat at the table, so thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. So a big thanks to the Chamber and to ISU for this beautiful facility. I love when we come to meet up here, the windows and the light. It's fantastic, and so I'm grateful for that. Often, when you come to things like this, people might not know who you are, so I thought I'd tell you one little icebreaker here. And a lot of you in the audience don't know that I'm I'm trying to become a beekeeper. And so this year, I'm adding to my flock, and I'm putting 12 new hives in. So I went to a bee guy, and I said, hey, I need 12 new queen bees to start these new hives. And he went back in the back and got some bees, and he came out and he gave me a sack. And I'm looking at the sack, getting ready to pay him, and I said, hey, there's 13 bees in here. I only need 12. And he said, don't worry, that one's a freebie. Okay, do you need me to tell that slower? Thank you, thank you. I know everybody's really here to hear the new mayors speak. So, mayors, how much time do you want me to leave you? Since I get to go first, I control how much time. Okay, Rodney says about 10 minutes. Mark, where are you at? How much time do you want? 5, 10 minutes? Where are you at? Oh, okay. No, I'm going to give you lots, so just be ready for that. I chose, the title of my talk today is Live Elevated, because, and when I say Bannock County, I mean us as a whole. So I mean our community as a whole. So when I talk about Bannock County, I mean all of us. And I chose the title of Live Elevated because I want Bannock County to reach its full potential. Everything that I do and everything our commission does is geared to how do we make Bannock County better. And when I first started as a commissioner, we set a goal to have Bannock County be a leader in the state. And so to be a leader in the state means a lot of different things. And as you heard, I sit on a couple of boards, both at the state level and at the national level. We have several other people in our organization that are sitting on boards helping at a national level and at a state level. So we're beginning to dip our toe to be that leader in the state. And so I want to go over some of the things that we've done to demonstrate our leadership. One of the first ones is the village. How many of you know the village? It is a fantastic resource for troubled youth and families here in Pocatello. Since it's been open, it has helped over 600 families with troubled youth. We've seen a significant reduction in juvenile court filings because of the village's interaction trying to keep kids out of the juvenile justice system. And because of our work, they won an award from the National Association of Counties this year for their efforts in juvenile work. The GFOA, and this is like the Michelin star for accounting stuff. Our auditing office has won this award for 31 consecutive years. 31 years we've held on to our Michelin star. And to me, that's an incredible achievement, and that demonstrates real leadership. Our own coroner won the Mills Adler Award from the Idaho Association of Counties this year, which is a leadership and a service award. Again, state level, stepping up, doing their thing. Our public information officer, Emma, has won an award for us this year. We did some public outreach to help develop our comprehensive plan. Historically, when we did that, we would get 70 to 80 people responding to our comp plan. This year, Emma said we got over 800 responses to help us draft the comp plan to help shape our vision for the future. And one that I don't have a slide for, but I want to mention for the Sheriff's Department, Bannock County has become the backbone for the 911 system for many of our surrounding counties. So what that means is a call might go into the 911 system in American Falls or in Power County, but it actually gets routed through our system out to them. We have become that central hub for 911 for all the surrounding counties. We are like the second place in the state that has that capability. So again, we're leading in things that you don't see, but we're leading. Let's see, our last one, the Geospatial Professional Network. Our GIS leader got a service award from her national network for the service and the work that she's done to help further GIS. And anytime you pull up a map from Google or anywhere, you can thank our GIS people because they're putting in the coordinates to make sure you get to where you're supposed to get in the timely fashion that you are. So those are just a few examples of what we're doing to become a leader in the state and trying to help set the example that we think Bannock County as a whole has, the potential that we have. So some of our successes last year is, when I first got into office, I went to all the high schools and I asked each of the leadership groups in all the high schools, what do you need to keep you to stay here in Bannock County? And the number one answer surprised me. The number one answer was we wanted more access to mental health services. Blew me away. So when we had the opportunity to put the village together, I jumped all on that because that was the fulfillment of that promise. And this year I got to fulfill the second half of that promise with our completing of the Youth Development Center. That is for the kids that have issues, that can't make it in the regular school system. They're in the juvenile detention system, and this is where they can go to school. They used to be upstairs in our jail, in the old jail, so you know you're in trouble already and you go to school every day in the jail. Well, now they have a nice new facility to go to up at the events complex. They can do service projects and things like that up there. So it lets them know that the community cares about them and wants to give them a chance. And so we were able to get that done in under a year. And so we're pretty proud about that. The next thing that we're pretty proud about, again, with our 800 responses, we did our comp plan. And we really tried to pare our comp plan down so that it was a document that would read. It used to be like 300 pages long. Now we're down to what, 80, Emma? Something like that. It's readable. It has pictures. So, you know, you can see what's going on. But that's one thing that we accomplished last year that we're pretty proud about. Concerts. How many of you have been to one of our concerts up at the amphitheater? Okay, I need to see a lot more hands this year. Okay, a lot more hands. We had a great year. We had 10 shows, a little something for everybody. And everybody always asks me, so what do we got coming this year? Well, I'll tell you this. We have 20 offers out on some bands that you guys will be very happy with, and hopefully we'll land them. So that's all I'm going to tease you with is we've got some good offers out on some big names that you will recognize, some mid-level names that you'll recognize. No, Kirk, not that one. But we're working on it. So come join us again this year. And then the other thing is the fields up at the events complex and the wellness center. We've worked so hard for the last 4 years. We get a lot of complaints about how things have been looking, and you soccer players out there back me up on this, the fields have looked as good as they ever have. And so our staff up there has done a fantastic job putting together fields for our youth and a great place for them to play. Another thing we're proud about, and a shout out to the Sheriff's Department, in an effort to increase public communication, we put out the Sheriff's app. So anytime there's an emergency in the county, if you have the app, you'll get a notification and you'll know what's going on. Love that. Another thing that I'm pretty proud about is our Kids Coalition, our investment in kids and the workforce. The Kids Coalition, and you have flyers on your table, is an investment in our workforce to keep people in the workforce because the cost of childcare is getting prohibitive. And so with the Kids Coalition is an innovative model to share the burden of childcare between employers, employees, and the community. And so we're excited that that got launched. And again, take a look at a flyer, see what you can do. The last thing up at the event center that we're very proud of is we are the home to ISU Rodeo, the home of high school state rodeo finals, and the home of junior high state rodeo finals. If you guys have ever been up there during the end of May when rodeo season is in full swing, it is insanity because of all the livestock, the kids driving $1 million rigs around. It's crazy. But we are so proud of that, and so we're looking to do some things to help bolster that. But that is one of the things that we're super proud of, and going from there. A couple other things that we've done. If you've been by the courthouse, we got 6th Street from the city and we closed it off and turned it more into a campus so you can walk across the street there between the two buildings. We did an entrance remodel, so we're more ADA compliant. So if you haven't been to the courthouse for a while, just come stop by and say hi. You don't have to come by and pay a ticket. Just stop by and say hi. We'll take you anyway. Another big thing for safety in the county is we partnered with the city of McCammon to put an ambulance bay down there with the goal of getting full-time ambulance service down in South County. So that was a big deal that we got finished up this year. And one of the other last things, not one of the last, but we also did our part and added a portion to the Greenway Trail. So now the Greenway Trail goes all the way up through the Wellness Complex, and we'll continue on doing what it is there. But we are excited to have that addition as well. We've grown our county fair down in Downey. I said that, didn't I? Those of you know me, it's the Bannock County Fair South. But anyway, that has grown over the last few years. I think this year the attendance numbers were up to 7,000 people down there. Because of that, we had to add a new exhibit hall, and we've added a new barn to help take care of all the 4-H kids. The 4-H kids have grown. I think they were telling us the other day that they have like over 400 entries in the 4-H portion of the fair this year. So if you've ever participated in one of those 4-H livestock sales, you know that that's a huge number. Big thing there. And lastly, this is really county related. You city folks don't probably understand this, but where's the groan on that? I was expecting a little bit of a groan on that. You city folks. Anyway, out in the county, there's some areas where Dyer's Woad, which is an invasive weed, has taken root and really has gotten crazy. But last year, we were able to do some great partnerships, get some aerial support, and knock that back down and get that back under control. So hopefully this year we can continue to do that and contain it and eradicate that weed. Also for our mosquitoes, we added a new drone with greater flight capability, which has allowed us to get further back into areas that we couldn't get before. And again, make sure that there is no West Nile virus in the area. And for those of you that don't know, there was a West Nile virus death this year in Southeast Idaho down in Franklin County. So it is still a real thing, but our new drone helps us take care of that. Any snowmobilers out there today? Few, couple? I know you're not snowmobiling today because there's no snow. But we've added some new groomed trails, added a few more miles of that, which has been a big success. This is one of my favorite ones as well. 60,000 pounds of hazardous waste, which was a record for us to collect this year at the landfill. 60,000 pounds of hazardous waste. Love that. And then my last favorite goal is our gas to energy plant. And thanks to our friends at Idaho Power for buying the energy from the gas to energy plant. What that is we have gas collection points throughout the landfill, and we feed that gas up to some turbines that then burn the gas and create energy that we can then sell to Idaho Power. And I'm proud to announce that is finally breaking even. We've reached enough production that we're breaking even on that process, and it's pretty cool. And so that's where we've been. Now, to live elevated, you got to have goals, right? So here's our goals for where we're going. Our goal this year is to get the advanced life support down in McCammon. We want that 24/7, 365 to serve South County. And why that's important, and we love our volunteers. They've served us for many, many years and taken care of the folks. But with the declining amount of volunteerism in the United States, it's been hard to get volunteers to staff them. So, for example, our Income ambulance is only in service maybe 15% of the time. LAVA, if you can imagine it, LAVA's ambulance is only in service maybe 50% of the time. Downey's in service 80% of the time. So having a full-time advanced life support ambulance in McCammon will greatly impact that south end of the county to get help to people when they need it. And so we're excited about that. Those of you that go to the landfill often are excited about this one. We're adding to our landfill, our scale house. We're modernizing it. We're adding an extra lane so that the commercial trucks, they'll have an account. They can just drive by, save some time so the public can then have their own lane and not have to wait for the commercial vehicles. So we hope to have that done by this fall sometime. So we're excited about that. It's pretty funny when you get excited talking about garbage, isn't it? Yeah, that's the life of a county commissioner. We like talking about garbage. Our ordinance rewrite. This is another huge one. Our ordinances haven't been looked at for decades. And so our team has been working on that for the last 8 months to simplify, consolidate, and make it easier to build and to grow in the county. There was this thing here. I get so excited, I lose my notes. By simplifying our building requirements, it gives the residents more power over their land, and it'll streamline development in the county. One of the big changes is we're changing our open space ordinance. So those landowners that are on the edges of the cities can build a little bit more density, so we can have, everybody says affordable housing, but nobody can give you a definition of that. But so we can have better housing, more opportunities for that. So that'll be a big deal, and we'll look to have that completed sometime this year as well. And lastly, the thing, we just had a meeting on this yesterday. We view the events complex as the cornerstone, the gem of our community. And so it gets used. And Ted Booth was at a meeting with us yesterday, and Ted said, I didn't realize how busy that place was until I actually looked at the calendar. We probably have 100,000 people a year use the events complex up there between all the events that we have. And so we're looking to do a master plan because we need to move some things around and do some things to make it a little bit more easy to access with some space growth that we need. We're getting ready to do a master plan on that. And so look for some public input opportunities sometime this summer about the direction that we're traveling with the events complex up there. So in addition to having some awesome concerts, we're going to redo the way it looks and feels and flows. So hopefully you won't complain about the parking like you do now. Yeah. We heard you. So in conclusion, I just want to finish with the challenge for all of us to live elevated. You know, we've been working with Portland Valley Development Corporation. I got to get it right with the new name change, and Mia Kate. We've got some fantastic things on tap that we're bringing in, hopefully this year, that will make a huge impact in our community. So I'm challenging everybody in this room, you all represent fantastic organizations, to come together, to work together so we can help Bannock County reach its potential. Because I hear everybody say, every meeting I go to, we've got so much potential, we've got so much potential. The time is now. It's time to live elevated. It's time to grow. It's time to be who we can be. Thank you.